Time to go whitebaiting. She's not the best day here on the coast, but you don't catch them sitting on the couch. Let's get down the river and have a look. It's actually quite nice down there. So I got the timing about perfect. She's a rough sea, so it's not a good whitebaiting sea. So I'll be scooping the mouth down here, probably running along this little bit of bank along here to start off with. Just as each swell pushes in, you just run your net along there. And then once the tide's coming in, we'll head upriver with a set net and sit back, relax and enjoy the day. Much prefer some whitebait, but trout is always good too. I've dragged the net down the river probably 3 times, just on the little swells that are coming up. Only catching stones at the moment, not even one. To be honest, I'm not expecting to catch anything today. There's only one down here. I jumped on the bike before to move it because the rain was coming in on the wrong angle for me shoulder. Push the start button and it wouldn't start. I was like, oh no. The tide's probably going to blow over this bar when that's coming in. I don't want the bike and the trailer and all that to be stuck in the incoming tide. But luckily it started when I gave it a kick with the kickstarter. So the mobile again, that's good. Well, I don't believe it. I chucked the big net in, and look at that. First whitebait for the season. One, all on its lonesome. Nothing like a nice hot cup of soup and the weather's died. So good. Wish there was more whitebait around. It would kind of make it worthwhile, but anyway, it's all good fun. Man, that looks good. Well, morning team, day 3. I got up at stupid o'clock. I think the alarm went off at 4:15 to be down here for 5 o'clock for when we can start fishing. Got the set net in the water. I don't know if you'll see, there we go. The sun is just starting to have an effect now. And time for a cup of tea. So she's going to be a pretty good day on the coast today from all accounts, and sounds like the sea's quite calm, so I'm hoping we might actually catch a little bit of bait today. I've only had enough for one paddy yesterday and on opening day, so yeah, a decent catch would be nice. We'll see how we go. Swell's what brings the whitebait in. Fish the incoming tide, it's usually the best time, but you can catch them at any time. First shoal I've seen, there's about, I don't know, 10 whitebait in it. Hopefully they're going to, oh no, they're still just sitting by that rock there right in the middle of the screen. I'm not going up into my net though. Look at them there. There they go. Yeah. Fresh snow on the backs of the mountains. Considering I'm going to be able to fish 2 tides today, and this is the 3rd pull of the set net, that's probably about what I've caught for the whole day for the first and second day. So today is definitely better. Still not flash, but we're getting there, we're getting there. First pushes starting to come up for the afternoon tide. Out doing the walkway this morning, keeping active, trying to build my fitness up again. The weather's changed today a bit, although it's not raining yet. But, it's supposed to change this afternoon, get pretty nasty, and the river's fishing really bad for whitebait, so thought I'd have a sleep in, do some exercise, and I'll probably shoot up to town. I've got to get some glue to fix my waders and buy some spare bolts and wing nuts and that for the nets, and some glue to patch a couple of holes. Go and visit Dad, and yeah, might head down the river later on. Might go to a different river, I'll see. We'll see how the weather goes. So there's a group of locals that have got these traps scattered all through this area. It's an effort to get rid of all predators in this area. Trying to catch stoats, rats, weasels, those types of things that eat the native birds and that sort of stuff. So there's a whole heap of traps around the walkway and in the bush and that in this area. Good to see you. I was talking to one of the ladies the other day. She said they've caught something like 2,000 odd predators, probably since I've been going, I guess. But yeah, pretty wicked. It's the old miner's cottage. It's not the actual one that they lived in. I think it's just a replica, but it just sort of demonstrates how the old fellas used to live. Pretty rough, really. That's all they needed though, fire and a bed. I'm just trying to fix this hole in my waders. So the first thing you do is you got to take the nylon covering on that's on the inside. You got to pull that off and cut that away to expose the neoprene. And then I've got a neoprene patch which we then glue straight neoprene to neoprene on the inside, and then you put it around the other way, and then you've got these iron-on patches that you're iron on the outside. Let's see how we go. Do this side here. Give that a good glue. Now that we'll let that dry, and then we also put some on the patch that's gonna go on top. I'll let that dry for about 5 minutes. Down the river again. Day 4. I didn't do the morning tide this morning. I did a bit of maintenance on the gear. Fixed the hole in the waders. But yeah, it's looks potential for absolutely pouring down. But the sea's actually really good. It's not bad at all. A lot better than it's been the last couple of days. The only real problem we've got is the mouth is real narrow. So that's not real good. Ideally we'd want a wider mouth. All the seagulls down there waiting for the bait to come in. So I've just set the set net. We'll fish until the swells get too big with the set net. And then we'll start scooping. Fingers crossed. Now that's more like it. So this is my first scoop. Not a lot going on. So I put the set net back in. So I've just dragged a heap of preserving jars out of the shed, and I've had a clean up in Mum's freezer. She freezes everything, and she had bags and bags of cherry tomatoes. So I've got all them out. I'm going to make up some Italian tomato sauce and then put it in the preserving jars and keep it on the shelf. I need some room in the freezer for some venison and whitebait and stuff like that I end up shooting and catching. At the moment she's chock-a-block. Just grabbed Mum's stick blender to blend up my tomato sauce, and it was all gunked up under there. Put it in a jar of boiling water and let it rip to try and clean it out, but I realised that round disc that you can see, that had come away from the housing. Food had all got up into the shaft, and yeah, it was horrible, but it made it inoperable. So I've just tried to glue it in with some Gav seal, and let's see if I can get it going again. Sauces are ticking away. They are quite watery, so I'm hoping when I puree them that they will, well, they will thicken up slightly, but I hope that they thicken up enough. But I'll probably reduce them down quite a bit yet, because I don't want a real watery tomato sauce. I want a nice thick tomato sauce. I've just got onions, garlic, some thyme, and I didn't have basil. I would have put basil in it if I had it, but I had oregano, so I put a heap of oregano in there, and then just tomatoes. She's miserable weather now, although it's not raining at the minute, but it has been off and on. Quite heavy, blowing a gale. So yeah, there won't be any whitebaiting for a couple of days, I don't think. I just had to borrow a bar mix from someone else in town, thanks Zoe. So I finally got it pureed, and we're ready to start bottling now. So I've got some bottles in water sterilising them. Right, hot jar, hot sauce. just about done with bottling. A little bit more to go. These ones here boiling away for half an hour. These ones here we're going to do without boiling them and just see if they will be alright. Jars were hot, sauce is hot, hopefully it'll be alright. It's a part of living in a rural community. When you've got skills that are useful, you volunteer, and we've got a fire alarm call out. So, see what's going on. Well, that's good. They had a full crew. I'm not actually officially a member yet, but if they don't get a full crew and it's a serious emergency and they can use me, I go. So I'll lock up now. The local fire brigade in town, they're first responders to any sort of emergency really. We get a lot of, well, they get a lot of medical calls. There's no ambulance in town. Closest ambulance is in Hokitika, which is probably 20-25 minutes away by the time they get the call out, get in the vehicle and drive down. So the fire brigade here respond to any medical 111 calls as the first responders, and then obviously fires, car accidents, probably cats stuck up trees as well, I'd imagine. I don't know that happens very often. But yeah, anything like that, the local fire brigade do all that sort of stuff. Saturday morning, the weather forecast is supposed to be crap at the moment, although we have got some big black clouds north of us. I went to bed last night and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to set the alarm just in case. The alarm went off at 5. Grabbed everything, jumped on the bike, come down. We're pretty much blue skies from, I don't know, Hokitika South. Beautiful. The tide's just starting to push in. The sea's not too bad, so hopefully we can catch a feed again. Didn't have a cup of tea when I got up this morning. Boiled the kettle and filled the flask up. When I was putting the screen in just before, I noticed the mesh has come away from another corner, so it's got a hole in the top and the bottom now. That's this one here, the one closest to the net. So I've ordered a floating screen, but it hasn't arrived yet. I think there must be something gone wrong, and I've lost access to my emails. That should be up hopefully today, so I can't even look up where I ordered it from. Oh, we've got someone else coming down the beach. I might have company this morning. Awesome day. So it was a ute that's turned up, a couple of guys in it. They're scooping the mouth. Nothing doing yet. I just pulled the net when they arrived just to see if I caught anything in the 20 minutes it's been in the water, but there was nothing in it. So I'm just looking at the scenery. Fresh snow on the hills, but I can see right down to Mount Cook. She's clear skies the whole way. There's Mount Cook with the flat top, and to the right of it Mount Tasman. I lived down at Mount Cook for about 8 years or 9 years in the 90s. Did my apprenticeship down there as a chef, and then stayed on working there for a few years afterwards. Absolutely loved it. Great spot. Awesome hunting and fishing down there. Mount Cook down there again. So this is Mum's garden plot, and she was in here last weekend doing a heap of weeding. She weeded this plot here in the middle. Took her all day. It was well overgrown. And then we've got the big greenhouse here as well off the shed. So yeah, we'll look at starting to get some stuff grown. Usually tomatoes in here, I think, but yeah, there's a bit of stuff going on. Strawberries, plenty of strawberries, that's good. Silver beet, they look like leeks. Beetroot, broad beans, some lettuce. So yeah, I'm gonna try and get the garden all cranked up so we don't have to buy veggies or buy minimal veggies. Hunt for our own meat and catch our own fish. And yeah, certainly eases the burden of cost of living at the moment, if you can do all that sort of stuff. She's got a nice big chook coop over in the backyard as well, but she got rid of her chooks a few, maybe a year ago or so. They're old and yeah, I don't think they were laying very well. So I'm probably going to get a few more chooks soon. Lemon tree in the middle there. I did a bit of maintenance on the gear yesterday. The screens I had were buggered. So I found this one here that Dad had made. It's a fold out screen. So it's about 2 meters long, which is good, but the only problem with it is these big long screens like this, if the ground's uneven, you can get gaps under it quite easily. And you're not supposed to move the dirt or the riverbed or anything like that to make your screens sit flat on the ground. So these longer screens aren't ideal. I talked to the company that I ordered the floating screen from, and they just said they got a backlog at the moment, but it should be here in a few days, hopefully. But I've also repaired a couple of these smaller screens. I cut some old mesh that I had on an old net. I actually out of an old screen, a different old screen. Cut the mesh out and re-meshed this one. So that one there's all good now. And this one here also, I just re-glued all the mesh down on the sides. So I've got plenty of screens. It's more than I'm allowed to have. You're only allowed 3 meters. So if I use that long one, I can only use one of the short ones, or I can fold the long one in half and use the 2 short ones as well, which is the preferred option probably. And I've also repaired a few of the holes that were in this big net. When I bought it, it had a hole in it. I found a hole at the back here where the whitebait actually swim into. I don't know how that got in there. That was just in here, so I've just put a new piece of mesh over there, and it was rubbing through where the trap is bent in the inside. There's the bottom of the bolt there. It's got a bit of cloth over it to protection, but it's worn through, made a little hole there. And just another couple of little holes that it's only been used like 4 days, and it's already like, there's quite a few little holes in it. Down here it was stitching was ripping away here from the this white plasticky sort of stuff. So yeah, there's the main hole there that was in it when I bought it. It was I got it a little bit cheaper because of that hole. Yeah, I think most of the holes are happening actually when I'm driving down the beach on the quad with all the gear on the trailer, and it's just bouncing around and all over the place, and I think that's what's causing the holes. The bike's playing up, that keeps frigging cutting out. I don't know what's going on with that. I'm going to get a new spark plug for it, chuck that in it. I noticed the other day the spark plug was loose, so I tightened that up, but it's still cutting out. I don't want to be screaming along the beach close to the water with the incoming tides and then the bike crap out and I get stuck there. I had to push it up onto higher ground the other day till I worked out the spark plug was loose. Yeah, too old for that sort of carry on. I was down at my brother's shed the other day and he's had this stored down there for a few years. It was on the wall of Mum and Dad's lounge, but they took it down and Graham's been keeping it down in his shed for me. So it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 point stag. Not a massive head, but it was my first ever stag I shot. I think it was my first ever deer I shot actually. And I shot it down on my uncle's farm on the other side of Ferguson's bush at a place we called Alcock's, just in the creek there. Had my motorbike licence, so I must have been 15, I think. I went down on my own and yeah, if I remember correctly, I shot it up the arse. The bullet went straight along the backbone, up along the spine and come out the front shoulder or somewhere. I didn't actually damage any meat. But yeah, I'll get that cleaned up and that'll probably go on the wall in my shed or somewhere like that when I get a property again. So as soon as these real high swells pass, we'll be back into whitebaiting again next week. Right, I'll go and get sorted, head up to Hokey and see Dad. I'll just quickly whip up the whitebait patties for Dad. 200 grams of whitebait, 2 eggs should be enough. Come on, buggers, get out of there. A lot of effort went into catching these, so I don't want to leave one in the bag. Should be able to do 3 eggs. Oh, bit of stick. Yeah, I'll do 3 eggs. Jeez, who cleaned this? Another stick. Put some pepper in there. Some salt.